My father returned from the service in 1946 and was presented with the two-quarter sections of land out near Teepee Creek, Alberta, about 22 kilometers east of Sexsmith. And the requirement there was that he spend 6 months of the year for 10 years on the land before it is turned over to him. Now, the land that the veterans got as a result of the Veterans Lands Act was not good land by and large. It's only land that earlier homesteaders had passed over. In 1943, the government instituted what they called a post-war reconstruction committee. They were so terrified that all the veterans and other military personnel were going to descend on society at once, and what jobs were they going to get? So amongst the methods they chose to alleviate this anticipated stress was to open up new farmlands and to take land that had been passed over and give it to veterans for them to work. Well, it was marginal land, but I spent many weekends and in the summertime many weeks out on our land in Teepee Creek, and that's when I learned how difficult it could be to be a farmer on marginal land. I remember my dad working from dawn till dusk in the summertime and coming back into the little cabin that we had on the land and just full of sweat and almost full of tears. I ain't gonna make it, Grace, he'd say to my mom. We're not gonna make it. I can't see how we could make it. And just the sense of depression that felt there, but out next morning to do the best he could. Well, you learn more about nature out on the farm than it was a farm out in a marginal area near Teepee Creek. And everything from the ducks and the geese in the night to the crickets at the night, and to the beaver dam that was just off the land, and walking miles in some cases to visit some neighbor kids, and then just being on your own to observe the nature, I think really stuck with me an appreciation for the nature that I think I've always maintained at the time. But seeing the struggles that my father went through, and he did stick it out for 10 years. When he got title to the land, he immediately sold it and then moved into Sexsmith to work at a machine shop. So, but the struggles that older people have on the land stuck with me, I think, and remain part of my psyche for the rest of my life.